everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastic today. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a tag that I actually made. There might be a tag out there like this, and I apologize for making this one if there is, but I couldn't find one on YouTube. So I decided I would make one, and because I thought it'd be interesting. Well, it's the OCD tag. So it's 13 questions about OCD and your personal experience with OCD. I have OCD, so I'm going to do this tag. And if any of you guys out there who want to do this tag who have OCD, you can feel free to do it. Add questions, cancel out questions, whatever. Just do it, you guys, because it's fun. It's fun. So it sounds like I'm trying to convince you. It's fun. Come on, guys. Peer pressure. No. I'll tag specific people that I want to do this at the end of the video. Number 1, what are your biggest obsessions and compulsions? But probably religious obsessions. Yes. And then for my compulsions, probably repeating has been really bad today, specifically today. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good with OCD, but today repeating's been kind of getting to me. Number 2, what was the first obsession and compulsion that you ever had that you remember? So I remember being like really young and having obsessions about germs and stuff. Those were probably the first ones I had about germs. That or perfection. I don't remember a specific one, but those are the ones that I first remember having. Number 3, what is your favorite obsession you've ever had? No, I don't know, I might be the only one who does this, but sometimes I'll get obsessions and I just find them so hilarious that I'll just laugh and I won't get anxious. This one actually used to bother me. I had this before I knew I had OCD, and I didn't really know what it was, but I thought it was really stupid. But it was basically just the words like, have sex with Mariah Carey. I was just like, what is this? I don't understand. And that was like one of the first obsessions I had when I first got like serious OCD. I was kind of just like, what even just happened? So that's my favorite obsession because that one makes me laugh. OCD is weird. I'll probably say that a lot on this channel. OCD is weird. It's just a fact. Number 4. When were you diagnosed with OCD? So I was diagnosed with OCD in 2012 when I was 15 years old. I was about to turn 16, but nope, got me when I was 15. Number 5 is, have you always had OCD behaviors, or did it develop later in life? I mean, it wasn't really like OCD, like super really severe OCD until I was like 15, but I think I've always had OCD behaviors, to be honest. Number 6, have you done any therapy for your OCD? If so, what kind? So I've done therapy for my OCD. I do exposure and response prevention therapy, and I want to make more videos about that because it's good. It's good. It works is what I'm trying to say. When I get excited, I don't talk. I just say words. I just say words, and they're not really coherent, but they're so yeah, basically I do exposure and response prevention therapy. It's hard, definitely, but like recovery is hard. You know, you have to step out of your comfort zone if you want to get better. Like with anything in life, you have to step out of your comfort zone if you really want to like live, basically. Life starts outside of your comfort zone. Gonna unlock my phone again. Okay, so number 7. What is the obsession that is the hardest to resist? The obsession for me that is the hardest to resist is probably the like sexual intrusive thoughts I get. If it's just like a normal thing, I'm just like going about my day, and one comes, I'll immediately like push it away. But if I'm doing exposure, I'm good at like sticking with it. But if it just comes randomly, I'll just push it away. And that's not good, but that's what I do. Number 8. What is the obsession that is the easiest to resist? That would probably be germs. I don't get many obsessions about germs anymore, but occasionally I'll like touch a railing or something and OCD people will be like, ew, that's so gross, and I'll just be like, you know what, man, you have nothing on me, okay? I'm gonna touch that railing, I'm gonna touch it real good, and you're gonna like it. No, you're not gonna like it, but you know what, I'm gonna touch it anyway. Number 9. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I run out of fingers. What are some of your coping skills that you use when OCD is too much to handle? When OCD gets too much to handle for me, I've started using, well, I like stress toys, I like sensory things, so a lot of times I'll like use a stress ball, I'll use one of these things, which you can pick up at like, I got this at Five Below, I think. Five Below or Target. And they're just like squishy things, you squish them and like they have these things on them. I actually had ones that used to work, but now they're like popped. That like when I would feel them like this, it would just calm me down so much. So yeah. Oh, another coping skill is probably playing my ukulele, playing an instrument, writing down how I'm feeling, and those are probably the main ones I can think of right now. So. Number 10, jazz hands. No, what do you have a name for your OCD? What do you call it? I have a name for my OCD because when I was in the OCD program, way back when they first started, they would have everyone name their OCD, which is a way to like kind of separate yourself from OCD. So I think that's why they do it. I'm not sure, but so I called mine the Rare Red Porcupine, and that is because I used to play Zelda, the Legend of Zelda with my mom, the original one, and I would play it on the GameCube, and they would have these little like porcupine-like things, these like spiky red things that would shoot balls at you, and you had to like get them from behind and like stab them with your sword. So we always used to call those the Rare Red Porcupines, even though they weren't really rare. The blue ones were more rare, but we used to call them the Rare Red Porcupines. And one day I was thinking about like, oh, what should I name my OCD? I'm in the program now. And then I was like, I think I was like getting ready to go in the shower, and I was just like, I got it, a Rare Red Porcupine. So that's what I called it. Number 11. What do you picture your OCD as? So, like I said, I named mine after a character in Zelda, the Rare Red Porcupine. So I also, in the program, made models of the Rare Red Porcupine. I'm gonna go get it for you. This is the Rare Red Porcupine. I'll show you a picture after, but this is the Rare Red Porcupine. He used to have spikes, but they all fell off. Actually, I think I ended up taking them off because it was annoying me how some were on and some were off. So this is the Rare Red Porcupine, and he also came with a ball in his mouth, but I don't know where that went. So yeah, and I'll show you guys a close-up clip of that. But now I don't really think of my OCD like that. I think of it as just like me, only evil. So sometimes I'll think of it as like me in a ponytail for some reason, without my scarf on. Sometimes I think about it with me with a black scarf on, which I'm wearing a black scarf now, so I guess I'm kind of cosplaying as my OCD right now. That's kind of funny. Number 12. Tell me a time when you fought back against your OCD and won. Number 12. So, a time that I fought back my OCD and won was, I guess the first time that I ever fought back against OCD is the win that I'll tell you guys about, because I've had many wins, but I'm having trouble thinking of them. But the first time I ever did an exposure was a win. That was when I touched a doorknob with my old therapist, and I didn't do a ritual. I didn't, the way she did exposures was kind of reassurance, I'll give it that. So it wasn't exactly a complete win, but I feel like it was a win for me to just like actually do the thing I was afraid of and not like avoid it. And that was the first exposure I ever did, so that was really marking like a new era in my mental health. Sorry about that, I stopped filming for a little bit because my card was getting full, so I had to download those videos, but now I'm back, and let's continue. Number 13, the last one. 13. The last one, really my card couldn't have stayed for like this just last one. What are some tips you have for people struggling with OCD? My main tip for people struggling with OCD is don't give up. It's a lot of hard work to fight back against OCD, but every time you sit with a thought, and every time you don't avoid, or you don't ask for reassurance, or you don't wash your hands, or you don't check the door, or whatever, every time you don't do a compulsion, you are fighting back against OCD, and you are winning big time. I know it seems hard, but that's the way you win. If you need to fight back. If you don't fight back and you just let it happen, then OCD is going to control your life. Also, don't use coping skills when you're dealing with OCD and anxiety. I know it's okay when it's just totally overwhelming, or you're trying to practice some self-care, but if you're really interested in fighting your OCD or your anxiety, don't use coping skills, because coping skills are avoidance or distraction, and that will only make your anxiety worse. It helps for a moment, but after that moment's gone, the OCD is going to come back. The thought's going to come back. And then you're going to have to do it all over again. Don't live your life coping. Live your life living. Because if you're just coping through life, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be sitting in your room coping. Basically, don't live your life coping. Live your life living, if that makes sense. Because you deserve to have a happy life, and you're not going to get that happy life if anxiety is constantly bringing you down. So do the things that fight back against your OCD. Don't just live with it. Don't just cope with it. Fight against it, because you do not need that in your life, and you are worth more than this. You are worth more than anxiety. So that's the OCD tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I will put the questions in the description, and I really, really want you guys to do this tag. Also, I will tag for this Half Kai, Sophie Berry, and Anxious Lifestyle. And Let's Talk Tics. Because those are 3 bloggers who talk about OCD, and I think it'd be really interesting if they did the tag. So, well, actually, Half Kai doesn't talk about OCD. She wanted me to tag her in the tag, so I'm tagging her. And, yeah, thank you for watching this tag, and I hope you guys do the tag. If you don't, that's okay, but I hope you do them. Yay! Okay, bye! I'm really hyper, can you tell?